Today, I'm going to talk about how audience insight will help you understand your ideal customer and save you a lot of money. By the way, if you like videos on how to grow your customer list and build a real brand, then subscribe to my channel as I have new videos each week.
It's the Morning Marketing Machine, here to grow your e-commerce business with proven marketing strategies and tactics, so you can run your business with machine-like precision. My name is Douglas Levin. Let's dive in.
Hi, my name is Douglas Levin, and I built a 20,000 person messenger list ahead of the launch of our first product, which led to 20,000 in monthly sales within our first 3 months of launch. I also have a link to a free cheat sheet below with tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income. Do you find yourself not really knowing much about your ideal customer? Do you even have an ideal customer? The truth is, if you don't know who they are, good luck trying to get them to buy anything from you, right? So you need to understand everything about them, but you may not know like how to start, right? So that's where audience insight really comes into play. So I'm going to share my screen and walk you through exactly what audience insight is and how to use it so you can better understand your ideal customer. So Facebook Audience Insight is it's a free tool that you can use. If you go to business.facebook.com, if you haven't already signed up for it, then it's a free account that you can sign up for. It's connected with your Facebook account, and you can use that as a starting point. Once you're logged in to Facebook Business Manager, you'll see an option when you scroll for Audience Insight. So I'm in there right now, and I'm sharing my screen. And it's a great place to start, I would say. So it also understand it's just a piece. It's not all you need, but everyone needs some place to start. So this is a great place to start. So there's 3 parts that I'm going to walk you through specifically. So we're going to look at interest, which is right here. We're going to look at demographics, and we're going to look at page likes. So if I'm looking at interest, let's say we got a niche, a specific niche that we're going to look at. So I'm using the example of drumsticks and drummers, right? I'm looking at that. I'm going to try and look for who else has an interest in something related to my niche. So I would type in, like, say, drummer or something, right? Right? And I would kind of see what comes up, right? So now if I type in drummer, then with this interest specifically of drummer, then now I've got information that comes up under demographics and page likes, right? So now this gives me a starting point to start to understand a little bit more about my ideal customer if I don't know anything when I'm getting started. I can kind of see, all right, if the average person on Facebook, like just any random person that before you start looking at these specific interests, you see that there's 55% of all of the people on Facebook are women, 45% are men. But you can kind of see here that when I type in this interest of drummer, that it's only 21% that are women and 79% are men. So without knowing anything else, I can start to look into it and say, all right, well, it looks like like my niche is more male dominated, right? Obviously, this is only one data point. I never look at anything from one data point, but now you can kind of see from this information that maybe I want to target men if I didn't know anything else about this. And you can also look here at other age demographics. So you can kind of see 25 to 34 or 35 to 44, all those kinds of things. And you can kind of see that the white is just Facebook in general. And then the blue is how your interest compares to the rest of Facebook. So you can kind of see here, if I was looking at it, the men that are 45 to 54 are more likely to be interested in the interest of drummers than anybody else on Facebook, right? So this gives you a couple different things here. It gives you which are more interested, right? So you can see 45 to 54 are way more interested for men. And also it gives you an idea as well of like, okay, so in general, then maybe I want to target men that are, say, 25 to 54, or even 45 to 54, depending on how crazy I want to get with it, right? You can kind of see like, all right, only 79% are men, so I probably want to target men. And you kind of see like 20%, 19%, 24%. So like, all right, definitely 45 to 54, maybe a sub pocket of 25 to 34, and depending how far out I want to get, I may want to go 25 to 64, right? And obviously, like I said, this is just a starting point. And if you're liking any of this, make sure to leave a like below as well. All right, so now you've got like some of the demographic data, and you also kind of see here, all right, you can also see, all right, what's the relationship status? So I can see that most drummers, at least an interested drummer, are married, and they have some college education, right? So the next thing you're going to want to look at is page likes. So if I'm scrolling on that, waiting for it to load, and now you can take a look at all sorts of other information to kind of see where they hang out and more information about your ideal customer. So you can kind of see like what stuff they're interested in. So I see Drum Dial Incorporated comes up. So maybe that's another site I want to look at. Maybe it's another interest that I want to add in here. You kind of see American Music Supply, Modern Drummer, and all of these other options that come up as a potential way to learn more about your ideal customer. So on its own, it's all just a data point, but when you add them all together, you start to see a bigger picture here. So this gives you a lot of information that you can rely upon. And then the last part that I really want to look at, that's a big thing as well, is as you scroll down further on the page, you see page likes. So we saw Drum Dial Incorporated a little bit before, and you kind of see here that 10 different pages show up. And you can kind of hit see more, and then you'll see up to 100 different pages that will show up. And what's great about it here is, all right, so I typed in drummer, and it was just one interest, right? So I can keep going in and adding all sorts of different interests in and seeing what comes up, so I can start to understand my ideal customer better. But I can also see all of these different pages that are going to come up, and you kind of get down this rabbit hole where you can get more and more and dial it in even deeper. And you want to pay attention. All right, so here's the relevance, here's audience, Facebook, and affinity score. So obviously, like the relevance means it's that this is the most relevant page to Facebook audience members who have an interest in drummers. Is Drum Dial Incorporated, and so it's the most relevant. And then you can kind of see the audience size, Facebook, and then you kind of see the affinity score. And what I really like in terms of the affinity score, it says that people that are interested in Drum Dial Incorporated are 895 times more likely, people that are interested in drummers and that interest are 895% more likely to be interested in Drum Dial Incorporated. So this means that they're than the average person on Facebook. So if you're looking through this, you can kind of see like this means that this is someone that's probably more interested in drummers. So I want to look at this, right? Usually what I like to do is I want to keep it around 20x or more in terms of here. If it's below 20x, then you start to see stuff that doesn't quite align. It doesn't seem like it's really your intended audience. So kind of keep that in mind, and then go through this list. You'll start to get a whole lot of data, and you'll start to understand audience insight and use it as a great starting point. So to recap, go through those interests, go through the demographics, right? Look at the page likes and the top categories, and look at your affinity score, and you're going to have all of this data so you can start to understand your ideal customer so much better than everybody else and really dial that in. So if you're looking for more tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income, then click the link below for a free cheat sheet. We also have a free Facebook group, Amazon Seller Secrets. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to grow your list and build a real brand. Talk to you next time. All right, bye.